Sweet. I guess I should record this. I don't know. I've never done anything right. All right, let's just start.
Got it.
It's the celebration.
Yeah. No, that was like it's been about 24 hours, maybe a little over 24 hours. And part of me still can't believe. So it's weird because I thought the whole time, like, if they get Jordan up, it's over. And then it happened.
Yeah,
I'm like,
too.
I can't freaking believe that. And I was like, but I just said, like, this is going to be done if they get him up. Like, it was the most unbelievably predictable home run that I can remember. What about you?
Yeah, it's literally the only time in my baseball watching career have I ever been confident that they were going to do an improbable walk-off once he got to the plate. And I feel like everybody but Scott Service knew that. Right? And I guess Robbie Ray. I guess I'll throw in Robbie Ray with his twin sister Rachel.
Yes.
I keep trying to make that joke and nobody likes it and everybody hates it. But I'm going to continue.
I've not come across that joke. It's very funny.
I'm going to continue to make it until I'm just going to force it. That's my brand of comedy, is forcing it down everybody's throat. But yeah, no, it was exactly what was to be expected, especially the way he was swinging the bat all game. Everything he hit was off the wall in a laser. I still can't believe that happened. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
When after the first, I want to say he swung and missed at the first pitch.
Yeah.
And the way that he just stared at Robbie Ray, it I shivered. Like, I'm like, no, Robbie Ray is dead. Everyone knows it, but Robbie Ray right now. Like,
Robbie Ray knew it. I mean, haven't we just crushed him? And don't the Astros own Robbie Ray or something?
Yes,
I know he won the Cy Young last year. Somehow he won the Cy Young. I still haven't seen that pitcher this year, but
because Verlander wasn't pitching last year, that's why he won the Cy Young.
Makes sense.
And we'll get to Verlander here in a second, but the way that he just like stared in at Robbie Ray between pitches, like, you're just like, it's over. Like, it's going to happen. And then to hit it the way that he did, just straight up upper deck, just yank job. Like, it was one of the most beautiful home runs that I've ever seen, which leads me to my question for you. Is that the most important home run? Or let's do this. Let's do this. Where does it rank when you compare Chris Burke, Jeff Kent, Marwin in Game 2, Springer in Game 5? Where does Jordan's home run yesterday rank as far as the most consequential? And I'm gonna answer, but I'm gonna give it a caveat when I answer. But I want to know where does this home run rank as far as, like, consequential home runs in Astros history for you?
Well, I'd like to make it easy on you and eliminate those the home runs from the aughts. That team was a bunch of idiots. I don't respect them. I don't I don't like their pennant. I don't like anything that happened. I didn't like their uniforms. Their mascot was on meth and was eating children. So yeah, we can get rid of those two. Honestly, I have a problem ranking home runs like this. Every single postseason home run like that happens is important and rules, and they're all like their own entity. That's such a historical home run, just in terms of never has a team trailed by more than or just trailed, other than Kirk Gibson, trailed by multiple runs and then walked it off. It's never happened before. Just the momentum swing, and then also just the people of Seattle and what that crow they got to eat was so substantial and so important to me that if I had to rank, it's going to be way up there, and I'd put it right behind Altuve's pennant clincher.
I left off. I accidentally left off Altuve pennant clinching home run and walk off home run. It's just
The Correa one is insane too. I mean, every walk off in the postseason is so special that that's why I say I have a problem. I have a problem ranking them. But that one has to be up there. That's just in terms of, yeah, that's just so clutch.
that's totally fair, and it's also kind of one of those things where, my caveat is well, let's see how this entire postseason turns out. And if it turns out that they go on to sweep the Mariners and win the pennant and win the World Series, whereas if Jordan is not up in that position, and it's ask Trey Mancini, who's up to bat, who's going to strike out on 2 pitches somehow.
Poor Trey, for the one dark spot of this postseason. We can talk about Justin. I'm not going to disrespect Justin Verlander, no matter, even though that was maybe the worst game he's ever pitched in his life. But I
want to talk about that in a second. But like, faced with the possibility of going into game 2 down 0-1 and facing Luis Castillo, and that he was lights out, when he pitched against Toronto. Just the possibility of going back to Seattle down 0-2 and they just have to win 1 of the next 3, and all of a sudden this home run changes absolutely everything.
Everything.
So what was your Ralph? I think Ralph listens to the podcast. He's a big Saints media guy.
Shout out to Ralph. Yeah, Ralph's the man.
Ralph Marlborough, I love him. He asked me what my panic level was, and it was probably the 6th or 7th inning, and I was like, it's a good 7.5, just because of Castillo in game 2, and it was already, it was already out there that McCullers was going to start. No, Framber was going to start game 2. Basically the opposite of what we suggested in our regular Sunday show or whatever.
Which is smart. You definitely don't do anything that we're saying, so that's good.
That's actually very, very legitimate. Like, it's within the realm of possibility that someone in the Astros front office is like, this is what these 2 dudes think, so we're going to do the opposite. Yeah, and I respect that, and I applaud that.
Yeah, me too. That's actually the only way to approach it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I said 7.5 just because of what was looming if Houston didn't win that game. What was your at any point were you panicked?
No, never panicked. Not with this team, but I didn't feel great. Definitely didn't feel good. I mean, actually, you know what? There were times that, a baseball game is very long and drawn out. So there were times where I'm going through it, playing stuff out in my head, and I'm like, oh, that's it. This is the team of destiny. The Mariners just have it, and we're going to get braved for 2 years in a row. And that's just what it felt like. But then we just kept answering. Every time they almost knocked us out, we hit them back. And when Bregman hit the home run, the 2-run home to cut it to 2, I was like, oh, no, we can. I was like, we can win this.
Yeah.
That's when I really started to believe. Yeah, every time they kind of chipped at it, I'm like, oh, we're not going away. But then that's when it kind of reminded me that, like, oh, yeah, we are the Astros. This is what we do. And then
not the Astros that we grew up with.
Yeah. Then you got the top of the lineup coming up, and you're like, oh my God, this is a possibility. So even with him up, it's still, even knowing it was going to happen, it was still as impossible of a thing. It's just crazy. I can't believe that this is a team that we get to watch year in and year out. It's crazy.
I was occupied. I could not be on my phone. I could not be online today. Of all days, I couldn't be online. So I know that the Astros have released like a 3-minute supercut, sort of recap of yesterday's game, and I'm going to watch it basically as soon as we get done here. It's like the team of destiny shifted from the Mariners to the Astros with one. Now they could come out and just Luis Castillo can be just fire a no-hitter tomorrow, and well, yeah, that can happen, but also it's 1-1 and it's not 2-0.
Well, they got to hit an ace as well. They got to hit another Cy Young candidate. I mean, it's not. Yeah, that could very well happen, but they're up against it. They're really up against it.
Do you think the day off today, the day off for legitimately no reason whatsoever, should there be a day off today? Do you think the day off today helps the Mariners or does it hurt them?
Yeah, I mean, I was talking with my dad about this. I think it somehow helps them because even though I still think that they're going to be shell shocked and that's tough to snap out of, and it's going to take them like being productive in game 2 and either jumping on us again or just to get some confidence back and be like, oh yeah, we were in that game. But I think having the day off to shake that off, it definitely helps them and cuts the momentum off from us, even though I'd argue that there wasn't much momentum of losing that game almost the entire time, and we just snatched it from them. So it's actually a reset for both teams. So now that I'm answering it, I'm talking myself out of it. I think it helps both.
See, I can see it going both ways. I see what you're saying, and I think that's a really good point. I think the Mariners would prefer to get this morning. I thought, I bet the Mariners wish they could just go right back to Minute Maid. It's another afternoon start. Get there at 9:00 in the morning or whenever you're supposed to report and put your work in and just get right back at it. The day off, where I would assume I don't watch SportsCenter, but I would assume I'm sure the Yordan Alvarez walk-off home run fit in somewhere behind Dak Prescott's a live press conference on SportsCenter about Dak Prescott's thumb or whatever freaking hurts. Some fantasy football coverage that they have to.
And they're still doing every one of Judge's at bat still.
they're kind. I'm watching hockey. My beloved Montreal Canadiens, who I've been a fan of for a good 5 weeks, opened the season tonight, and they just cut in on the Montreal game to show it. They didn't do that, but
you know what's really got me fuming is that they have this weird day off, and then all of a sudden they learn how to do 2 primetime games at the same time.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude? It's infuriating with what they're doing with this scheduling.
I think it helps, and under no circumstance do you have to hand it to Rob Manfred or MLB. But it helps that one series is on the East Coast and the other's on the West Coast, like from a timing standpoint.
For sure.
So, what is it? I think Cleveland's in the Eastern time zone.
Yeah, I think it is.
They might be.
Pittsburgh.
They're very close to the Central time zone. But, those are games starting in an hour apart. This is, you could feasibly, depending on how quickly they work, watch one game and then switch over and it's the first, maybe second inning of the other game. Like I kind of get that. I just don't understand why can't you just do what you did yesterday? Like that. I guess you don't want a day without a day without baseball, but
that's the only reason I've come up with that they could be doing this. So does the National League do they have do they have like a day off between games 3 and 4 or something? How does that work? Or this was just the American League had to eat this and then everything else is going to be normal? Is that basically what it's going to be?
I feel like I think we talked about this. I want to say that the National League is off tomorrow and the only two games are the American League series. But that
makes sense, playing their games 1 and 2 on consecutive days like a normal. So they have a normal series, and the American League just got fucked just for whatever the reason.
For no reason. Yeah, no. Tomorrow.
And then we travel again on Friday, and I know we bitched about this on the regular episode. It's with that if Game 5 looming, that is just infuriating. But that's nothing to get mad about. This is a celebration.
Yeah, no, tomorrow's just American League. Friday's just National League.
Whatever.
It doesn't make sense. Verlander. I know we don't slander Justin Verlander. I was comforted by one of the chronicles because the Astros don't have a beat writer for The Athletic, which is cool. You got the best team in the American League that they can't find one guy to just go like walk around with the Astros and write about them.
I can't work with cheaters. I just can't do it. Maybe why don't you get a trash can to cover the team?
So one of the Chronicles writers said something about when Yordan hit the home run, Verlander was already looking at film and he'd figured out a couple of things that he was doing. Was he just tipping pitches?
No, he just had no command, and they were jumping on him. So he was not. He couldn't get any swings and misses.
Yep.
He was wild. He was erratic. He was not throwing his pitches sharply. He literally was as bad of a Justin Verlander as I've ever seen him his entire career. That's as bad as you get. And he had that same performance earlier in the year too when he gave up six over whatever.
Seattle.
Yeah, same exact kind of. It was the same exact kind of thing. I think they were aggressive, and and he just didn't hit his spots when he needed to, and that's just what it was.
I want to say that yesterday was the 7th time the Mariners had seen Verlander.
It was the 7th time, which is also not good.
You can only dominate a team for so long in one season before. As much as we like to bash on the Mariners, they did win 90 games, and that's a pretty good team. You cannot just, Roy Oswalt and the Reds, that's 5 or 6 years or maybe 7 years, but 7 times in one season, you're just sort of asking for it. And even when I was tweeting out like Verlander's dominance against Seattle, like I was thinking like, man, this is. Like, I don't let my soccer teams play a team more than twice in a season.
Right.
Like, I'm not scheduling, a non-district or a district opponent before district starts. Like, that's just too much familiarity. Don't need that. 7 times is just a lot. I can't remember the last time an Astros pitcher faced one team 7 times in a single season.
Yeah, that's a lot. And also, and on top of that, is just not being sharp at all, So it's not even you're getting Justin Verlander, the god. You're getting him at his worst. So I don't know. So I think it's a combination of all those things. But yeah, it wasn't great.
And I don't think it was rust. I just think it was that just wasn't his day. And there have been a few, just kind of not his day outings. And it happens when you've made 520 starts in your combined regular season and postseason. That's just gonna happen. Like he wasn't. It's not like I think we'd be way more worried, or I would be way more worried if he came out and in the first inning his fastball was sitting like 92. 91. Yeah. He was still getting it up to 97, 98. Like it was there. He just couldn't locate. I think you're exactly right.
Well, yeah, and he was pitching from behind the whole time. So and then of course he's hard on himself, so he's pressing, and he knows once that 4th run got up there that he has to lock it down. But honestly, if you really go back and look at it, yeah, and they got hits off them, but it was really just timely hitting with runners on for them. Where that's Julio Rodriguez hit him hard, and then of course you get the Astros quintessential home run to somebody who doesn't hit home runs, the J.P. Crawford. The Howie Kendrick Award, the fucking
Scott Pasednik.
Scott Pasednik Award for sure. Scott Pasednik Award, the fucking Jim Leyritz honor of
Jeff Blum.
Yeah, seriously, yeah. So we can, the list goes on and on and on. But it wasn't that bad. They just came through and hit. They just hit him, and I'd be confident if he was on the mound for a pivotal Game 5.
Yeah, no, I'd be fine with that. I think the difference, not that Verlander doesn't get up for a playoff game, but especially after yesterday, you got to imagine he can't wait to get back out there the next time. So that's kind of a dangerous situation. And he's set up for Game 5 because Tuesday, Game 4 would be Sunday if you need it.
We won't need it. So he'll just be amped up to obliterate whoever has the poor misfortune of coming to Houston for Game 1 of the ALCS.
And that would be great to go ahead and do that, so we don't have to. So the Verlander doesn't have an 8th start against the Seattle Mariners in 2022. Who are your? So there's every game. There's Yordan's going to get. There are going to be tattoos of Yordan flipping the bat. Or standing there watching
Jose Alvarez of Jose Alvarez, our MVP.
I would. Did I say Jose Alvarez?
No, no, I was making fun of all the Bob Nightingale, that retard. Sorry for saying the R word.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
just a
making
bunch
sure.
of people. Yeah, a
I
bunch of
am
people
tired.
just saying the wrong name and not knowing. I think he said Jose. Called him Jose. Anyway,
Perfect. Love you. Stay bobbing, Bob. Um, but so Jordan is going to be that's the Jordan game. Like from this point forward, like he's goated. He was already goated, but he's
sure.
goated for sure by now. But you got to think like it took David Hensley actually, absolutely working the count to get Gray. His jersey was grazed. It would have been a walk if it didn't graze his jersey.
Great at that. Yeah.
That was his first career postseason game. It took Jeremy Pena getting his first career postseason hit. Just when he looked, 2 pitches after he looked
foolish, absolutely foolish at the plate before that. Yeah, so that was an improbable hit for him, and then also the double plays. Jeremy Pena, it made a couple plays in the field. Hats off to him. That whole inning is just hats off on that.
So my other one, and you can pick a different unsung hero if you want, but my other one's Brian Abreu, who came in and absolutely did a job probably way earlier than he expected to. I think he gave up a run. But at that point, there were a lot of Mariners runs. So, kind of whatever, but just sort of like held it down and kept it. I mean, it wouldn't have been if they took Verlander out and brought in Abreu and he ended up giving up 4 earned runs. I don't think anybody would have been like, well, that's bullcrap. Like, why did that happen? Like, I think at that point, Seattle was kind of showing, maybe a little bit more life than we expected to. But the way that he kind of just kept the game within reach, and until the offense could figure it out in the 8th and 9th inning, like I was impressed by Abreu.
Yeah, Abreu and Hunter Brown. Yeah. But I honestly, I saw a bunch of obviously I was on Twitter, unfortunately, so I saw all the flack that Dusty was getting, but I think that he was managing with the confidence that they could win the game. So after being Monday morning quarterback on it and looking back, I thought, other than maybe the Javier move was a little bit, that's the only one I kind of have a question mark about. But I like the confidence that he managed with. He knew that we could win the game, or at least it played out like that. I don't know if that was really what he was thinking.
I wish they would have saved. I mean, we talked on Sunday about how Aledmus Diaz in 10 games against the Mariners is hitting almost 400. It would have been nice to have him in the lineup and not, and we can do this the day after, but maybe not Trey Mancini, who did not cover himself in glory yesterday.
God, I was thinking he would do. I was like, man, he's due. He's going to hit. He's going to have a big, and I still think it's possible that he has a big postseason hit for us that comes through. I think he has not been great by any stretch, but he's certainly capable of power and driving in runs and a big hit. So it kind of sucks for him to have that, just kind of be traded here and to have that kind of lackluster feeling from I guess from all of us watching him. But I still like Trey. He's still the man. He's still the man.
I like Trey. I wish he'd hit maybe like above 200. Like that would be fine.
Yeah, but you know what? But ultimate shout out to Yuli motherfucking Gurriel, whose bat speed and it's all of a sudden is squaring balls up out of nowhere. His bat speed was there. He was, hitting line drives and pulling the ball. It's the first time I've seen him pull the ball this season. I mean, that's not true. Obviously, that's not true.
He should have had 4 hits because he hit an absolute laser right at somebody. I can't remember who.
If he's dialed in, then anybody we're playing is in trouble. If that just because he's been absolutely inept all year long.
They've won despite Yuli Gurriel's offense. His defense is still stellar. Love you, Yuli.
Yeah, some big scoops on that, and but those just out of nowhere, just playoff Yuli coming through. So that's for me. I mean, Bregman coming through. It really was a team effort. Kyle Tucker maybe do something.
Yeah,
maybe he was grounded. He got a switch taken or something, and he's
mad at
mom again. Yeah, he got he got the new FIFA and his mom took it away from him, or he didn't get whatever those coins that you buy to spend money to buy cool gear for your player on 2K. He was trying to get some fire kicks and some lit outfits for his 2K player, but his mom wouldn't let him, so he's been grounded from that. So that's unfortunate for him. But that's it. I'm being nitpicky. Obviously, he's the man. He made a great catch.
Yeah, he did.
Running catch in the field out there, yeah, I'd like to see him. I mean, never mind. He's fine. I'm sorry, Kyle. Please don't get mad at me.
I think everyone's fine, and I think something that yesterday, I don't know that they've been at this for so long and they're so experienced that I don't think they ever thought, like, yeah, no, I guess let's try again in game 2. Like, I think they're like, you got to get us out 27 times, and until you do that, then we are going to fight you with everything that we have. But it still has to feel just good to know that kind of played like crap there for a good 2.5, maybe 3 hours, and now you're up 1-0 in a short series. So it's got to be just a confidence boost for absolutely everybody.
Well, absolutely, and it's also, you got to think that's their best punch.
Yeah,
that's their best punch, and honestly, and all respects to Logan Gilbert, he wasn't dominant, and he pitched fine, but it's not like you can't get to him. So it's not, but that was other than pitching, that was their best shot. You're not going to get, especially on the road, you're not going to get any better than that from the Seattle Mariners. You're
up 7-3 in the 8th.
God, they had that game won. That's
on the road in Houston. You're up 7-5 in the 9th, and you've got what, 8-9-1 coming up. They blew that game. Like, I mean,
an absolute botch job. Yeah, they absolutely did. and like, I mean, they really did. And Dave Roberts is like, thank God somebody else did something to fucking cost a game, because I'm sick of them bringing me up. Scott Service is just trying to do his best Dave Roberts, just trying to see who can just manage their team out of a win. And then Scott Service, what a fucking weasel that idiot is.
I don't know what they got retweeted today. I don't know what I don't know what it was in response to. But I tweeted that, or at some point during the summer, that Scott Service has verbally agreed to catch these hands. And I'm really curious now what it was about, because I thought that was pretty funny, way out of context, where I don't even remember what it was about.
I actually had show notes that for the real episode, that I was talking points at least, and Scott Service throwing it. Haven't seen throw at people. Haven't we?
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck is he doing? I mean, was it Castillo before he came out that threw that? I mean, why they've hit way more people than any other team in the league. Am I right? And he's been doing that nonstop, not just to the Astros, but I mean, literally anybody who does anything or doesn't do anything at all, unprovoked, they've been throwing at people. That Toronto, that was absolutely uncalled for, to throw at somebody's head like that.
It was unconscionable, for sure.
That was insane.
Bad baseball is what it was. I'm curious. I'm looking up this Seattle hit by pitch stat.
I think they've hit a bunch.
Let's see. Oh, of course you can't. Why don't they have that ranked? They had 56 hit batters.
I have no idea what the mean or what the average would be. I have no idea what a lot is.
Well, so I'm pulling up the Astros just for comparison.
I mean, you play 162 games. That's a lot. That's a lot.
The Astros hit 60.
Oh, okay. Never mind. All right.
So it may not. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, but they had 50s with malice. It's very different. We have some young erratic arms guys that are pitching a little inside, but they have evil plans.
Yeah, I think you're right. No, it's bad intentions.
Because I know that they threw it at us on purpose, and in quote retaliation for nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Multiple times. Oh yeah, because I guess apparently we accidentally hit them one too many times, and Scott Service had enough of it.
Yeah.
or he's just paying us back for Eddie Taubensee getting more playing time.
Yeah, and
He's just matter. Anything that the Seattle. It sucks too because I hate him so much, but I really kind of like their team. I like J-Rod.
Some likable guys.
You got some Ty France. I like him. Obviously, I hate Mitch Haniger, but I really don't hate their team at all, and I just hate their stupid fans and their dumb manager.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That is totally fair.
So you said you didn't get a chance to get on Twitter at all. So you haven't had the beautiful gift that is going through Mariner tweets and just kind of seeing what they're saying.
No, I'm not.
It's completely unhinged from the very, very predictable. You got to think that the Astros are cheating and knew what was coming, which is absolutely hilarious. Yeah, Jordan knew what was coming. A 92-mile-an-hour fastball over the plate from a starting pitcher in the 9th inning that he hit an absolute mile. I mean, give me a break. But yeah, so there was that, and then there was their only positive people were the delusional type that were saying that was going to make the World Series DVD that much more dramatic. That loss.
Wow.
I was like, okay, but you know what? That's thematic, and I do respect that in terms of if I'm having to be delusional and crazy. If I'm building a narrative, that's nice. That's a nice crescendo, and you got a peak and a climax, and you can have it. Come back and win the World Series in the second act. I mean, it's perfect storytelling. So
that's cool.
Shout out to that crazy person. And then the rest were just unhinged. Yelling about service and the move there.
I love that.
Which I mean, so I get, and we will wrap this up because I really have nothing more to say other than we are the best, they are the worst. Bunch of idiots. So Scott Service bringing in Robbie Ray right there. I was trying to come up with, what would be the move there, and I don't think the move would have been to walk Jordan, put the tying game within a single, and Bregman coming up against a who was pitching before the what's his name?
I can see him. It's not Nick Tepera. It's Peter Cetera.
It's something with.
It's definitely not Peter Cetera.
I can't. It's what's his? Hold on. I can't think of it. I'll have to come up with it.
No, I've got it. It's
It sounds like a sailor's name. He sounds like somebody who is a captain of a ship. Seawold or Sewell or a Sewell. If you want to drive a Sewell car.
It's Brandon Backey's Seawall. That's what it is.
Yeah. Then Backey will have that graffiti as quick as possible. Bregman is like 4 for 5 with 2 home runs and 3 ribbies, and I think that's the person he hit the walk-off against them. So loading the bases for Bregman in that situation was not the move either. I mean, I don't know, was that a lesser evil than pitching to an absolutely laser-eyed? Jordan had the short circuit robot red eye, so he was just like, he's ready to. That was good. Him swinging, getting up anything to swing at was going over the fence, and I don't see how Service didn't know that as well.
I think that what makes it even stranger is that they brought in a lefty, and Jordan hits lefties better than righties. Like he still mashes. He still mashes against righties, but I mean, you've got a full season, you've got a full career to look at. A guy that's hit, I don't know if he's hit 100 regular season home runs yet, but he's hit 100 home runs regular season and postseason combined for sure. That's not a whole. That's not a small. We're not dealing with a small sample size with Jordan.
No, and you're talking about a tactic that I'm not too fond of. The bring in the starter in a role like that in a pivotal point in the game. I mean,
like Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
Like Garrett Cole in 2019.
That's what I'm going to say. Yeah, he didn't get a chance to get in, but I don't know. I mean, based on how he's pitched, I don't know if that's necessarily if that would have been a guaranteed W. But AJ Hinch made sure that he wanted to take a page out of the Scott Service and Dave Roberts book, and he was like, "Yeah, okay, guys, let me see if I too can blow a World Series, and I'm going to do it right here." So definitely. So AJ Hinch throwing his hat in the trying to lose ring, and that's pretty fun. But yeah, so that move is puzzling to me. Turning him around the lefty does nothing. It's Robbie Ray. It's not fucking. Oh yeah, did you see the Randy Johnson photography stuff?
No.
You haven't been on Twitter at all. Okay, so apparently Randy Johnson, yes, that Randy Johnson is now a professional photographer, and he's insanely talented. And there's like this he's been taking photos for the NFL in some games, but do you have to see his gallery? He's absolutely he takes pictures of like travel, wildlife. Here, I'll link you to right now. It's beautiful because he's clearly following his passion, but he's insanely talented, and it's just you love to see it, and it's just fun. Yeah, I would think he would be like eating the bones of birds, or just like scowling at somebody. But you know what? Honestly, did you?
This man's made $175 million in his career, and he's just like, I'm gonna take some pictures.
I'm gonna buy this Nikon. That
seems really low for Randy Johnson. I guess that's what happens when you play most of, when you're 35 in 1999, you're not gonna put up that kind of salary numbers. But
yeah, you're pitching for Seattle and Arizona. That's not 10 and a little. I don't even know if we even paid him any money, but yeah. But so yeah, two not big markets at all. But yeah, that's pretty insane. I'm trying to link because I'm glad that he's following his passion. That absolutely rules. I was gonna say, did you watch the Nolan Ryan documentary?
No, I might actually watch that tonight.
I highly recommend it. It's very good. But you'll see that Randy Johnson is he's one of the talking heads on there, and he's way more affable, and I found it kind of funny. I guess I really don't, other than his Hall of Fame speech, I don't think he spoke any words while he was here in Houston.
Yeah, no,
he was just like a scowling guy. I don't think he was never an asshole or anything. He's not John Rocker or anything. But I just didn't know. I didn't know he seems to be. He's taking pictures. He's a cheery dude. I just had literally no idea.
No, I'm okay. So I'm definitely gonna watch. Montreal's now losing, which is apparently going to happen a lot this season. So I might just turn it over to the.
Yeah, and they speak French. I don't know if you knew that.
I love it. You think they're booing you, but in French, the word for goal is but. So they're just calling for you they're calling for you to score a goal. I love it. It's very sweet.
It's very sweet. Je t'aime, Montreal Canadiens. See, that's a little French for you. Yeah, I don't know. That's I'm just excited for Randy Johnson. I was going to link you to it. I'll link to you here sometime so you could see the gallery. And also I'll link you to another player who's also following their passion after retiring, and it's John Rocker. And yeah, he's doing caricatures on the boardwalk somewhere. And yes, they are. He is going to be magnifying racial things on each person. So yeah, John Rocker doing caricatures.
This is so totally off topic and random, but in the same vein as like, what do you do after you stop doing what you're most famous for? I was a huge Dandy Warhols fan. In like the late 90s, early 2000s band, the Dandy Warhols, and Zia McCabe, who I had a crush on because she would play topless sometimes. And when I was 17, and maybe a little bit after, like I appreciated that.
I feel the same way about Anthony Kiedis. He was also playing topless. Anyway, finish your story. I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
Zia McCabe is a very high-end realtor in Portland, Oregon.
See, yeah, that's
cool.
That makes me sad though, because and that's just coming from an artist standpoint, that if you were no longer making your art, and this is not true because when you're making you're broke and everything's terrible, and sometimes a real job is the only answer, and it should have been the answer all along. But yeah, I don't know, when I see anybody go from art to just having to work in this capitalistic patriarchy of okay, I'm not gonna get into that, but I'm not even gonna do the bit on that. But yeah, it makes me a little bit sad. But that does rule that she's doing well, and probably not doing it topless either.
Probably not. Although I don't know, might help.
Oh, I'm getting word that I'm being me too'd for that. I should not have said that. So yeah, I'm being canceled. Should not have brought that up at all. All right, any notes before going into game 2? Any notes? I mean, I got nothing else. I still think we sweep them. I think that it's that was an absolute dagger into their souls, or they don't have souls, into their coffee.
I think Castillo is going to have a pretty good game tomorrow. But also we know what the Astros offense is capable of, and
I think we jump on them. I think we kind of do exactly what they did in game 1. I think we smell blood.
Yeah.
And they're going to be just tentative enough. And you got a nervous Scott Service now that all of his moves are being in question. Now that's when you start getting the over managing and really affecting the outcome. Pulling pitchers. Jordan's not going to get another pitch to hit this series, so he's going to be on base every time he comes up. So that's
for Bregman.
Yeah, and everybody else behind him. If you get Tucker and then Gurriel's hitting anyway. So shout out to Seattle for sniffing the postseason. That's really fun of them to do that.
I'm curious if we are able to record tomorrow, or if it's Friday or early Saturday or whatever it is.
Yeah.
How's it going to change? How's the narrative going to change? So let's see.
We'll be feeling even more. We'll feel better because we'll be up 2-0, head into Seattle, and yeah, I'm not guaranteeing anything. They're a good team, but yeah, if they're up against it right now, and if they don't split, they don't get a win tomorrow. I don't care how rocking a bunch of people dressed like Sasquatch or whatever they do up there. Fucking, I don't care how loud. T-Mobile, what a dumb name for a stadium. Yeah, I don't care how loud it is, and it is going to be a great environment. It's going to make it that much more fun to go up there and just sweep them and have them just that's going to suck. But
if there's ever a team that does not care how many people are yelling and booing, it's this one. They don't they might put 20 on Seattle in that first home playoff game in 21 years.
Yeah, that's one of the most fun parts about this team is that they're not scared to go on the road. They're not none of that stuff. They're not scared of they're not the Houston Texans playing on primetime where I don't know if it's Monday Night Football. The Patriots are going to score 70, terrified to play in primetime. The Astros relish it, and they're gonna that's great. So that's I don't know, that rules. So yeah, shout out to them. We hate them. We hate everything about them. It sucks that they're coming up and they're having this little blip in their franchise, this little uptick, and Houston Astros exist during that time
in your division,
where it is possible, and I'd even err on the side of likely that they get just buzzsaw and cut and blocked because this team's window is wide open and it's going to continue to be good for the foreseeable future. So I mean, they're going to have to wait a while before they get their day in the sun. But I think they got to be encouraged. So that's the only thing positive I will say about those dumb hippies.
Well, it's better. It's obviously better now than it's been in the last 20 years. I mean, you've got to at least maybe because the Angels are never going to do anything. The Rangers are a few years away. The A's are more years away. It's good. Yeah, let's have some
spend their money. So they're trying to, but when you're not really capable of making good decisions up top, I mean, you're not gonna really do anything. So yeah, I mean, they're still a ways away, but yeah, I'd be encouraged if I were them.
Yeah,
but I think their fan base should, and I'll end on this. I really think that maybe their fan base should defund their attitudes. And they should look into defunding that and their attitudes, and they're so unpleasant and stupid that I weep for everybody that is from Seattle and roots for the Mariners. That's it. We'll see you guys after game 2.